Okay, hello ladies and gentlemen, Forrest over here and welcome back to another watch along stream. Last night it was a disaster because I fell asleep. And so we are doing this. I'm going to be watching two classic cartoons from my childhood that I know I will not be sleeping through because I have watched them before and I have enjoyed them every time I watch them. So the two Christmas specials that we're watching here are Santa Claus is Coming to Town and The Year Without a Santa Claus. Why? Because it is 10 days until Christmas and I do want to watch some classic cartoons that I know some people will or have enjoyed in their lifetime. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started with Santa Claus is Coming to Town. Also, a little fun fact, if you go into the bonus settings, you can actually watch this movie with commentary. With it even says so on here. Commentary with animation historian Greg Urbar. But we're not doing that. Nope. Instead, gonna go ahead and turn the English subs on. So without further ado, let's begin. Probably should turn this down as well a little bit. Yeah, we're just moving along here. Hold up, you know what? The fact that there's not the narrator here mentioning about how children are doing their best not to cry and not to pout and all that. I swear to God, this is reminding me of yesterday. I went to the this Polar Express experience event that was going on in my area, um, and the best moment for me, the well, I would say it's more like the funniest moment for me, if I'm being honest. Is still I'm still thinking about it. It's like one of my it's like uh my nephew. He like went with my niece, my nephew, and my sister. Who the people there, for the love of God, would, because I know they don't know us personally, so of course they would make this thing. They made the very well. I would probably call it uncomfortable, even though I took it a little bit knowing that they didn't really know us, but at the same time, they can't just say, well, these two aren't together, so they must be the mom and dad. Even though, if you look at my niece and nephew, my niece looks more like my sister, and my nephew looks more like his dad. But it's but anyway, um, yeah. So while we were dealing with the first few people constantly thinking that my sister and I were the parents to these two kids, which obviously we're not. Um, there was this time. There was a time where when my nephew was seeing Santa Claus, it was at the very end of the experience. We went to see Santa Claus, and Santa Claus is saying a couple things, and he ends it with saying, "Do you got kids have any questions for me? You guys want to ask me anything, or say something? Blah blah." And I swear to God, this is what my nephew said. Quote, am I on the naughty list? And me and my sister are laughing because just out of the blue that was. And Santa Claus, with a nice little response, with a nice response, the best response I've ever heard a Santa say. Well, Santa, you're asking me the question. What do you think? And I'm like, damn. And I'm like, and then he says, well, you got a few weeks. I think you should try to change it around. But you still got a few weeks, right? You got about another week and a half. Being nice. And he's like, you should. And I'm like, dude, tell my nephew to behave. Tell my nephew to behave. It's like asking my niece if we could borrow money from her because she does have some money saved, and she does not like to give it to anybody at all. At all. She is literally the stingiest person when it comes to money. I swear to God. She is more stingy than even my dad and my mom combined. And in my head, I'm like, I would have better luck trying to ask my niece for money than asking for than having my nephew behave. It was really funny to me. It's still funny to me how that whole conversation went down. Just being like, it's just funny to me. My nephew just straight up out of the blue asked him if he's on the naughty list, not the nice list, but the naughty list. And Santa's like, well, you had to ask the question, so I think you know the answer to that. And it's easily the funniest thing for me ever. It's the funniest thing I've ever seen in my entire life between a Santa and a little kid, even if it was between him and I when I was a little kid. But still, my nephew, easily the funniest thing ever. I'm surprised they kept that bit where the second child says my turn. I'm surprised they didn't edit that out. Okay. Yep. Yep. It's reindeer, not reindeers. But also, kids have 10 days, technically 9, before Santa's set to depart from the North Pole and give all the little kids presents. Yes. So, that's part of why I started doing this thing where I'm going to be asking casual questions to everybody that wishes to answer them. And the first question was, what would you like for Christmas? And I did say, I'll start, and I said I would like a Steam Deck for Christmas. I've always wanted to have a Steam Deck, but uh, I never really was able to get it. But then I realized, well, I have a way of doing it because I just started getting back going on to Steam recently. As a matter of fact, the other day I bought, while it was on sale, American Simulator because that's primarily one of the reasons why I would play it. Because I've always wanted a Steam Deck and I've wanted to play that game for a while, and I even have it to where what I was gonna do. Like, if I were to live stream American Truck Simulator, I would probably do it to where I would play the base game first, and then play the DLCs every number of episodes after after the last one. It's like about 5, 10 episodes, depending on things. But yeah, that's what I was thinking of doing. I'm telling you why. Brampton Bass present Santa Claus is coming to town. Told and sung by Fred Astaire. Mickey Rooney as Chris. Keenan Wynn as Winter. The Westminster Children's Choir. And the talents of Paul Frees, John Gardner, and Robbie Lester. Music and lyrics by Maury Laws and Jules Bass. Santa Claus Coming to Town music, J. Fred Coots, lyrics Haven J. Lesby, Leo Faced Incorporated in New York. Teleplay by Romeo Muller. Produced and directed by Arthur Rampton Jr. and Jules Bass. Always. Yeah, I'm gonna assume that's because the the Winter Miser brother just loved tormenting people back in the day, back in those times. I will say I love every time I watch this movie. Sometimes I like to talk as the Meister because I feel like if I were to be a character in anything related to it would definitely be the Burger Meister Burger. What? What currently? The Daily Paper? Is that all? What baby? Why? Yeah, yeah, one of my favorite villains in the Ranted Bass cartoons. One of my favorites for sure. Uh oh. Ominous. Hmm. 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 Yeah? Hmm. Yeah? That would make sense.
Someday when I'm bigger, I'll take them for you, Tonto Kringle. When was that, Tonto?
Yeah? You know, I just noticed how while you have the one of the elves waving the quality flag, the other four are just carrying and swinging their tools. And it's like, dude, you might not want to do that because you might hurt somebody with them. Hmm. I don't know why, but it's all that line nowadays. For some time now, I don't even know when I first started finding that line funny. How the way they do that line is like, yeah, yeah. Some years went by, and Chris was a nice young man. I'm a man now, Tanta, and that's like, I have no idea why I find that line very funny nowadays. I just find it hilarious because I think it was because of how they do that. It's like when it's like he's a nice young man. I'm a man now, and it's like because I always laugh at those kind of ironic things there. With another example being like this one channel known as Oversimplified. He does these videos involving world history, primarily about battles in the about wars and battles and all that kind of thing. And at one point, there's a moment during the American Revolutionary War video that he did, part one to be exact, where after something happens, uh, you have this little bit of interaction between one of the Native Americans and George Washington, and it's after as, as a group of an army were surrendering, George Washington said to them, "Okay, guys, pack up. They have surrendered." By then, Native American on this animation, kills the guy, and the Native American looks at Washington and he says, "Oh, I'm sorry. Was I not meant to split his head open with a tomahawk?" George Washington, "Don't worry. It's not like this would have started a 7-year long major global conflict. And what started was a 7-year long major global conflict." It's always those deliveries that are funny. Even if it's a serious situation, even if it's a serious moment in history, when you do a delivery like that, it's always hilarious.
It would be nice if someone played with our toys. If only one of my dollies could be held tight by a little girl. It's decided. Tomorrow, I leave for Summertown. Got it, Gringo? I'll just packing. Did I wake you up? I wouldn't wake anyhow. I made this for your trip. A real Kringle soup.
So that's what I got for Red.
Yep.
Yep. It was always one of Gus. Right to this day. Well,
Yeah.
Chris said goodbye to all his friends. Health and health. Just as night was falling, Chris started to make his way through the desert the way the logs run. Hey! What? Why, you're a penguin. Well, what is a penguin doing here? Is he looking for a snake? A rat?
Nope.
A log? Pole? The North Pole? No. The South Pole? Well, little feller, that's on the other end of the earth. You're just about as lost as you can get. You better travel with me. You need someone to take care of you. Now, cut that out. Come on, Topper. I'll call you Topper. Okay? Come on. This way,
Hmm.
little feller. Hold there, when I'm mountain. Roll back. Roar you are. Come on, Topper.
And that's where we see the first close-up shot of this winter warlock. Not too terrifying, but I can see how it could scare some young kids.
Returns. We've got to cross my mountain on the way home. And then, no more being the nice guy. We made it, Topper.
Hmm. Whoa.
Yeah, as expected, you've broken your funny bone.
Hmm.
Oh, what caused me to slip, Glenn? Well, I told
Oh,
you, as suspected. I hate toys, and toys hate me.
yeah,
Even
they
better.
are going, or I am going, and I am going. I am going.
Check this out. It's a difficult but responsibility that you accept from the number one lawmaker, me. Have it known throughout the land from sea to sea. There'll be no more toy makers to the king. All that's been sold, just melt them down. Wash the face of every clown. Each bouncing ball deflated. No, I don't want to debate it. The ballerines hear away. Arrest their musical tones. Applaud the dolls and sing along. They bring me only woe. It's a difficult responsibility that you accept from the number one lawmaker, me. Have it known throughout the land from sea to sea. There'll be no more toy makers to the king. Way back in the box field, till I wounded by the heels of an animal, unstoppable. When a child attacks, will bubble. No, why that? No, you got to understand too. Don't let me see another toy, or you will feel my boot. Yes, Mom, difficult responsibility. That he extracts from the number one lawkeeper, me. Be it known throughout the land, from sea to sea. Toys are hereby declared illegal, immoral, unlawful, and anyone found with a toy in his possession will be placed under arrest and thrown in the dungeon. There'll be no more toy makers. Now hold it back now.
Hmm.
Give me all your toys by order of the Burgermeister.
Hmm.
The townspeople do know what to make for Chris. Hi there. Nice day, friend. Don't mind me. Ma'am?
You ought to be ashamed of yourself, young man, wearing such outlandish clothes.
Close. Look, all I want to do is give away these toys. Toys?
Uh-oh. Damn, dude.
Hey,
That was quick.
well, what's going on here?
I'm feeling a cure. Yeah, no more playing.
No playing, eh? Are you washing out stockings?
Uh-huh. It's one of our daily duties. Then we hang them by the fire pit so they dry overnight. That's the only way they judge you around here. By how many chores you do and how clean your stockings are.
Is that so?
Well then.
Well, you don't have to look so glum about it.
Why?
I don't know. I just don't like sour faces. And I got some real nice goodies for you. And not if you look like this. You better watch out. The crime out.
Why?
Telling you why.
Yeah.
'Cause I came to town. And look what I brought.
Toys.
Oh.
Why, sure. Compliments of the kingdom.
But what about the governor like that?
What about
Hmm.
him? He wants a toy, he can have one. I'll save him a big red yo-yo.
Toys are frivolous, impractical, unproductive, and what's that?
For you.
Mm.
China doll? I always wanted one when I was a little girl, but my parents wouldn't. Thank you. I mean,
Watch out for that doll. She's a hardened criminal, I hear.
well, maybe it is a silly doll.
You know, she is easily swayed, this woman. I will be completely honest. There's one minute she's for the Burgermeister, but then the second she gets a doll that she's always wanted, she's easily swayed toward Chris Kringle's side of the coin, of the issue of toys. Yeah, to me that's kind of funny, but also like she really needs to set her standards straight. Either she's for toys or she's against them. It can't be one or the other just because you just got a new toy that you've always wanted since you were a little girl. You still got to be one side or the other. You cannot be easily swayed.
I mean,
What do you say you help me hand out these presents, huh? It's too big a job for one oversized kringle and a little lost penguin. Everybody is here. So the little children are playing with their toys. Playing with their toys. In the name of the law, you must not take the light.
Damn.
Don't arrest those children. It was my fault. I gave them the toys. You? How dare you? You are obviously a nonconformist, and Remove. Arrest this man immediately. For you. I will.
Oh, you're doing part right here.
Yo-yo? I love yo-yo. I used to be able to do all kinds of tricks.
Plus, you see, he's having so much fun with this yo-yo, and then of course, his freaking law keeper has to bring him back to reality.
You're making your own laws. What do you think about detective? Quiet in the bosom. Arrest him! Arrest him! He climbs like a squirrel, leaps like a deer, and is as slippery as steel. After him!
Hmm.
He went into the woods. We'll never find him in there. Yes, we lost him, Topper. Slow down. Wonder where we are.
Uh-oh.
Trespassing on the lands of the winter warden. Hey! Hey, let go! Let
Uh-oh.
Where's Kingo? You disturbed me for the very last time. Now and you'll never get
I had to do the evil laughing face I do every time I do an evil laugh.
Look, before you do it, would you tell your tree friends to let me loose for a second? You see, I have something. What is this? A trick? Oh, no, sir, Mr. Warlock. Or may I call you Winter? Mr. Warlock, if you please. Well,
Hmm.
I managed to say one of choice, and I'd like you to have it. You wish to give me a present? A toy? Yes, sir. But nobody ever gives mean old Warlock a toy. I'd like to start
Got it.
now.
Sorry about that. I remember.
If you just call up, oh, yeah, that. Oh, yes, of course. But you mustn't mind the tree monsters. Their bark is worse than their bite.
Smart
Their
aleck.
bark is worse than their bite. Well, very well. If I release the Kringle, and no tricks now. Oh, no, no, sir, Mr. Choo-choo. I've always wanted one. What's that? My icy heart. It's melting. Well, look, Mr. Warlock. Please, please, call me Winter. Winter? Oh, yes, yes. Suddenly, my whole outlook has changed from bad to good. Great. Ah,
Hmm.
but will it last? I really am a mean and despicable creature at heart, you know.
Hmm.
It's so difficult to really change. Difficult? why, look here. Changing from bad to good's as easy as taking your first step.
I hate to be the guy to ruin something here, especially when you got a song coming up. But no, it isn't. No, it isn't. It's hard. As I always say, it's always difficult to change your ways, but it's just as easy to revert back to your old ways. Now that I've ruined everybody's good mood with the fact that we got a song coming up, let's listen to this song, shall we?
You never forget where you're going. And you never give up on your feet. Come on, let's that you can bring me nice new toys, and I can assist you with my magic.
How?
Oh, I'll show you.
Hmm.
Gaze into my magic crystal snowball. Someone is looking for you.
Really?
Jessica?
Go to her lab.
Oh,
Damn.
Wait,
That was quick.
I thought I'd never find you again. I wanted to bring you these. Letters and notes from the children of Sombertown, asking for more toys. You see, the Burgermeister destroyed the ones you brought.
You tell those young'uns there'll be plenty of toys, but only if they behave themselves. No crying or pouting or... Oh, I'll know. I got ways of knowing. My, personal friend, the Warlock, taught me this. He said, I can see when they're sleeping, I know when they're awake.
My goodness.
Wow.
You know if they're bad or good?
So you tell them to be good. For goodness sake.
Oh, thank you, Chris,
For what?
for being so kind. For just being...
Golly.
Hmm.
Now, about the toys. I'll have to kind of slip them in after dark when the Burgermeister is asleep. So you tell all the boys and girls to leave their doors unlocked tomorrow night.
Hmm.
Well, Chris went back to the Kringles to get some more toys. And what do you think those crazy Kringles did?
Yep.
Yes, sir, they all moved in the whole winter. Lock, stock, and barrel.
Yep.
I guess they figured it made sense to move the source of supply closer to the man.
No,
Yeah, that's true.
I'm crowded. But at least I'm loved.
Yeah.
Made a list of all the children and the toys they wanted. He checked it over once, then checked it over twice. He tried to figure out just who was naughty and who was nice. Well, I guess they're all pretty nice. So he packed up and was off to
That's
school.
pretty much the gist of it, isn't it? But he looks at how good or bad they've been, but he's just like, they all been pretty good, why not?
This is outrageous. Toys! Toys everywhere! What sort of criminal is this Kringle? Sneaking into houses by night. I hereby decree that all the town's doors and windows will be locked tight against this prowler.
Also, I'm surprised. Wait, when did this man's feet get. When did this man's foot get any better? They don't even talk about that. They just. One minute we see him on the wheelchair, the next time we see him, he's walking like as if nothing happened.
Well, more and more letters came for Chris from the children. Jessica would gather them together and then give them to the animals, who would deliver them. And Chris, well, he just couldn't turn anybody down. But this time he found all the doors were locked again. Now there was one special toy he just had to deliver. Susan, a tiny little girl who was very, very sick, had asked Chris for a toy Noah's Ark. Chris just couldn't disappoint her. Topper? What is it? You have an idea? How to get into the house?
Yeah.
Through the door. The sky? The moon? The stars? The chimney? Go down the chimney.
There you go.
Great idea.
Well, here goes.
And that's how he
Huh.
started going down chimneys.
Whoa, now I
Hmm.
understand.
That makes sense.
What a great job I've got.
Come on, there's a lot more chimneys to explore tonight.
You know, I'm also, just because I watched Jeff Dunham, the first thing that popped in my head as soon as he says that is this joke that he did with Bubba J, where he talks about uh he talks about the night when Santa Claus came down the roof one night, and the fireplace, he just happened to come down the chimney as they were lighting the fire in the chimney, the fireplace. And so Santa has to stop, drop, and roll, the ways we got to do it. And Bubba does something I'm not going to say here. Like, it's not like bad. Like it's not gonna be the worst thing you're gonna hear happen to someone like Santa, but it's just bad enough for me to not want to say what he does. And then we're not even gonna talk about what happened to his deer in that story. Mm-mm. Nope, nope, not at all. We're moving on. But I'm just saying
More
that's
toys discovered by the half elemental pieces. Each house in Town will be searched before dawn. If any more toys are found by the fireplace, they will be confiscated and the children severely punished. So be it.
Doggone, how can I get the toys to them? They gotta have toys. Otherwise, their life will be nothing but school and chores and washing their stockings and the stockings. The stockings. Take this to Jessica. She'll know what to tell the children.
Hombre, halt! Search the premises. If you find so much as one marble or half a jack, the house is under arrest. Double time. Huh.
hmm.
We can't find anything here, Burgermeister. Good. Very good. No toys. Nothing but dried stockings. And proper. About face. Forward. Up, 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 up. Phew.
And there's the former
Thank
king.
heaven there were no toys.
And that's how we started leaving presents in stockings.
More toys? But how? Now,
Ow.
blessed Almighty. I will do what I should have done a long time ago.
And what's that?
I will set a trap for that bothersome Kringle. His next visit to Town will be his last.
Uh oh.
Oh no, I must warn Chris.
It was too late. Chris had already left with his toys.
Oh, Mr. Warlock,
Winter, please.
you must help me stop Chris. Please, use your magic.
Oh, alas, I've been disenchanted. I have no more powers.
Hmm.
I can't even do card tricks.
Oh, that's terrible. What shall we do?
Nobody is going to do anything. You are all under arrest for defying the law and making toys, and for being an accomplice to public enemy number one, Chris Kringle. To the dungeon!
How the hell do they even know where these guys were at? They don't even have anything to say that it was from a Kringle. They don't. What? Do they put the name Kringle on the toys? Like how artists, like painters, will put their name on the paints on the portraits that they make. Maybe, but still, that wouldn't tell you where they lived. So that's the problem.
I tell you, things didn't look good. And meanwhile, back in Sombertown,
Stop! You are under arrest! Not me! Wait! Look!
what can I do? You have
To the dungeon! Children of some...
Now this next bit, I've seen this Christmas special on TV many times. This next bit, after Chris is arrested, this scene is never shown on the TV show, and I don't even know why. There's no rhyme or reason for it. It's basically to prove that the burger that the Meisterburger is no longer the comedic character that he's been shown to be. This time, he means business.
House. You will never, never play again!
Well, sir, it looked like Chris was finally beaten.
Herr Bürgermeister, please, you must
are beginning to open for the very first time to what life is really all about. And I know just where I belong. With Chris, wherever he is.
Today is not the end. It's only the beginning.
I don't like the fact that they kind of ended up. I love that song. That is easily one of my favorite songs from the Ransom Bass cartoons. But I hate how abruptly they ended.
Mr. Warlock.
Jessica, Winter, please. What are you doing here?
Trying to set you all free. But I don't know how. If only you had your magic powers back.
Alas, I've nothing but a few meager magical leftovers here in my pockets. A short-circuited wand, useless. A dried-up magic potion, powerless. The tiny stubs of 100 or so magic candles. And a few last handfuls of magic seed corn just jumped on me.
Magic seed corn?
Well, it's of no use to us. It can't dissolve prison walls. All it can do is make reindeer fly.
Reindeer?
Ooh.
Fly?
Later that night,
Are we sure about that?
Chris's reindeer friends, they just had to take one nibble of that corn. And look at them go! I bet you know their names.
Yep. Dancer and Vixen.
And Cupid. And John and Winston.
Yes, sir.
And don't forget.
That's a reference toward the very first cartoon, that the very first Christmas puppet animation show that they did, titled, we all know the one, we all know what it is, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, we all know it. Yeah.
I bet you know their names.
Yeah. And if I remember correctly, this year marks 60 years since Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer first appeared on television.
Let's go, daughter. Let's go. Opposition, Oscar! Well, I still have a little magic. Oh, I'm not supposed to hold the wrapper on. That's just the way it happened. We Meisterburgers shall hunt them down throughout the land. Those rebels will not have one moment's peace until they are captured again.
It's not even safe here. The guards will be coming back.
We'll have to push on.
I'll go anywhere you say, Chris.
Hmm.
Like Robin Hood, Chris suddenly found himself called an outlaw.
Yeah?
Chris Kringle.
Hmm.
Well, those posters are not going to do them any good now.
Oh, Chris, let me take a good look at it.
Pretty grand, eh?
Huh.
It's perfect.
Well, since I'm a Kringle, I had to grow one sooner or later.
Hmm.
So that's why he has whiskers.
But you should not use your Kringle name. It's dangerous.
Not call myself Kringle. What other name would suit me?
There is one. You
Hmm.
were wearing this when we found you as a baby. See what it says?
Claus.
Your real name. You must use it now.
I knew it. I knew it.
Hmm.
That's where I got his name from.
That's not really much of a plot twist, but yeah, it was a decent one though.
It was that and Jessica who read the tape. Chris's wife.
Jessica. Oh, she knew Mr. Santa Claus.
It was a lovely wedding.
Yep.
Yes, sir. They held it on Christmas Eve. And since no town welcomed them, they stood before the river in the silent winter woods. And a grove of pine trees was their cathedral. They put all that pretty stuff onto the pine trees. And then Chris and Jessica placed their wedding gifts to each other under the trees. No church ever looked nicer.
Oh, please. Let me have just a little magic.
Oh, that's very pretty.
A very pretty tree.
Yep.
The custom started.
But there was no rest for our little group of outcasts.
Mm-hmm.
Soon they were forced up beyond the reaches of civilization, up far past the most northern city, past where even most animals live, up
Oh,
to the
then.
North Pole. This is it, people. Ah, yes, this is it. We'll build ourselves a nice house.
While we're at it, we'll build ourselves a castle. And the best toy factory in the world.
And that's just what they did. And in no time at all,
Santa's Castle and Workshop. Up at
Yep.
the North Pole.
well, as soon as the buildings were built, they settled in and started making toys in earnest.
Hmm.
Oh, they needed toys. Because you see, despite everything the Meisterburgers tried, the legend of Kris Kringle, or Claus, as he now was known, just grew and grew.
Hmm.
And as years went by, animals delivered letters by the thousands.
Oh, just look at this list. Well, load up the sleigh. Ah, this is the fourth trip this month.
You see, he still had to travel by night because he was considered an outlaw.
Yeah.
But when did they stop calling him an outlaw?
Well, as time went by, that changed. You see, the Meisterburgers, they kind of died off and fell out of power. And by and by, the good people realized how silly the Meisterburger laws were.
Yeah, and I gotta say, another gripe with this one, it kind of took out the Meisterburger. I don't like it when they do that with characters off screen. It's like, it would be so much more better to see them get their comeuppance on screen than off screen. But when it comes to like a little kid cartoon, obviously, you don't show them the crazy graphic stuff. You just let it be known for interpretation. For an example, I forget which Ice Age movie it was, but you have that one character that's a monkey, like a monkey, chimpanzee, gorilla, whatever. Uh, I don't exactly know. It was like a chimpanzee or a gorilla. I can't remember which one of those he was. But uh, there's a moment where he's floating on a thing of ice, and he just starts coming to on the ice, and then a pink light is shown off in the distance in the direction that he's facing, and then you see this this female creature basically eggs him on to come over there, and then uh, at the very end of it, uh, just before he gets at the very end of it, when there's that moment where you kind of it's kind of distorting what he thinks he's seeing to what is actually happening. Uh, then he just gets forced into that clam, and the clam shuts, and you hear his muffled scream. "No." You don't see it, but you know whatever's going on is not pretty for him. But he still got his comeuppance. He still got his comeuppance.
That's why, honey.
That's why. It's turned into quite a proposition.
I can hardly keep up with the orders.
I'm afraid I'm going to have to limit my journeys to one a year.
But on which night should I go out? I wonder.
It wasn't a hard decision to make. They chose, of course, the holiest night of the year, the night of profound love, which was the perfect night for giving.
Christmas Eve?
Christmas Eve. And that's how it all started.
How goes it, Mr. Warlock?
Winter, please. I've got my magic power working just fine. I can cast up a big freeze. Yes, sir. I think I can guarantee a white Christmas.
Hmm.
Wonderful. Then let's be off.
He's so wonderful. Everybody must love him.
Well, most of them.
Yeah.
Oh, he's not considered an outlaw anymore. But there still are some.
Ebenezer Scrooge.
The bother, the noise, the crowds. I really wish it were outlawed.
How can they talk about Santa Claus when there's so much unhappiness in the world?
Poor misguided folks.
Hmm.
They miss the whole point.
Yep.
Lots of unhappiness. Maybe so. But doesn't Santa take a little bit of that unhappiness away? Doesn't the smile on Christmas morning scratch out a tear cry on a Saturday?
Not much, maybe.
Hmm.
What would happen if we all tried to be like Santa and learned to give as only he can of ourselves, our talents, our love, and our hearts? Maybe if we could all learn Santa's beautiful lesson, maybe there would finally be peace on earth and goodwill toward men. Hey, it's getting late. I've got these letters to deliver. And you better be getting home, too. And remember, behave yourselves.
So Santa can still look into his magic snowball and see just what you're up to.
And now that you know all about him, you can be darn sure that come snow or high water,
Alright, so we're gonna have to turn this down because, that's about the end of the show. As long as the credits are not rolling right now, at this moment, they will be. But yes, that was Santa Claus is Coming to Town. And while I did mention a few gripes that I have with this cartoon, I did enjoy this one very, very much. I thought it was a pretty good cartoon. I think it does kind of give kids an explanation toward how Santa Claus came to be, uh, how he can tell if kids are good or bad, you know, how he got the suit, you know, all the kind of things that kids probably are kind of curious about. But yeah, so, so, I'm gonna go ahead and take out this disc because we still got one more cartoon to watch. Still got one more to watch. I am gonna be doing something after I put the disc in real quick. Alright. Hmm. Let's see, is this one Warner Brothers or Universal? Let's see. Based on what they got going right here, it's gonna assume Warner Brothers. Oh my god, I can't believe I actually got it right. Yeah, because some of these cartoons, some of them are owned by Universal and others are owned by Warner Brothers. Hold on a second. Alright, so I'm actually gonna go ahead and do something real quick. I will be right back. Wait, one. Give me one. Just give me 1 minute. I will be right back. Alright, so we learned about the origin story of Santa Claus. Want to hear about the year without a Santa Claus? 'Cause that's what we're about to do. Let's see. The year without a Santa Claus.
Have you been told? Did you ever hear of the furious, fidgety year when Santa Claus would hitch his sleigh and loudly taking a holiday? How do I know so much about that? I never saw it. Even now, I'm going to remember. Not yet Christmas, but perhaps Thanksgiving, though I can't give you the very date.
Hmm. I wonder why.
Santa got up that morning late, pulled on one boot and then its twin, ruffled the whiskers on his chin, and sat back down on the side of the bed.
Great North Star, but I'm tired.
He said,
Painting wagons red and bright, sharpening ice skates half the night, wrapping presents in ribbons and gauze. Could Ward be weary?
said Santa Claus.
Cricket, my back, cold in my nose, aches in my fingers and all 10 toes. And a sort of kind of kink inside whenever I think of that Christmas ride.
Now, Santa, you just rest yourself a bit longer. I've already sent for the doctor. We'll have you back on your feet in no time.
Oh, here he is now.
No wonder you got the shiver and shake. Probably never got over the case of near pneumonia you picked up last year gallivanting around the world in your open sleigh. And for what? Just to deliver presents to a bunch of folks who don't give a hoot in the first place.
But,
Now, doctor, it's not just presents, and you know it. What about all that Christmas spirit and goodwill?
Had any sense, you'd give it up as a bad job and stay home in bed this year.
Oh, come now. If Santa stayed home, why, there'd be no Christmas.
Who cares? Nobody cares about Christmas anymore.
they don't.
Oh, why?
And of course not. Wouldn't surprise me none if nobody even believes in you anymore.
Now, Santa, don't you pay him any mind.
Nobody cares how to hoot and holler for you or Christmas. Oh, by the way, Merry Christmas to you.
Now, Santa,
Oh,
I
he's
hope
just
you're
a
not going to
miser.
take any of that to heart.
No, the man's right. I had that same feeling myself, but I just wouldn't admit it. Nobody really cares anymore. And besides, the doctor says I'm really not up to snuff. Besides, I'm due for a holiday. I better call the boys, tell them to cancel Christmas. Warn the people. Tell the papers I'm much too tired for Christmas capers.
But Santa, you must be kidding. But it was true. Santa was taking a holiday, and the world would soon know that it was to be the year without a Santa Claus. Did you ever hear of that terrible year way back before you were born? When Santa Claus took a holiday.
Shirley Booth, Simpson Tells. The year without a Santa Claus.
Santa woke up one day, stuffed and gray, and this is what he said.
I could sure use
Starring Mickey Rooney as Santa Claus.
And he yawned to his bed.
Also starring Dick Shawn. Dick Shawn. George S. Irving. screenplay by William Keenan, based on the book by Phyllis McGinley. With music Maury Laws and lyrics by Jules Bass. Produced and directed by Arthur Ransom Jr. and Jules Bass.
More or less. What happened when that news reached the press? Headlines screamed, wires went humming. Santa says too tired, not coming. Out in the stable, nuzzling hay, the reindeer dreamed of Christmas Day. But Santa phoned to the reindeer groom.
Hang up the harness in the big storeroom.
He called to his elves and he told each gnome.
Cover up the shelves. We're staying home.
What?
Cover the shelves?
Cried the gnomes and elves.
Cover the dogs?
An electric train.
The rocking horses with shaggy manes
And the rubber boots for splashing in the park?
And the cowboy suits.
and Noah's arks.
And the Noah's Ark.
And the animals too. Hello, Jingle Bells. Number one elf speaking.
And Jangle Bells.
Will you stop that? Reindeer, who is calling, please? Oh, hi, Mrs. Claus. Yes, Mrs. Claus. Oh, okay, Mrs. Claus. Sure thing, Mrs. Claus. Right away, Mrs. Claus.
Who was that?
That was... Come on.
He just says Mrs. Claus and you ask, who's that?
It fits
Okay.
very nicely. I bet I could be Santa Claus. Who would know the difference if Santa Claus was me? Yes, who would know the difference? Just Santa Claus and me. Anyone can be Santa. Why can't a lady like me? I admit I'm underfed, but with a pillow from the bed, I could be Santa Claus. Oh, any drunk can play Santa. I've fantasized it a lot. With his hat up on my head and his suit of Christmas red, I could be Santa Claus. And with his ho, 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 I'd be going down the chimney with his sack. And although my curls may be showing, I'll make sure they only see me from the back. Yes, anyone can get Santa. A tantalizing remark. Though his boots are not my size, with a twinkle in my eyes, I could be Santa Claus. His reindeer and his sleigh, I'd be up, up and away. Yes, I could be Santa. I could be Santa. I could be Santa Claus.
Santa, you changed your mind.
Oh, joy, oh, happy day.
Well, boys, what do you think?
Hi, Mrs. C.
Mrs. C?
Like, wait, what?
No good. Well, I guess we'll have to move right on then to Plan B.
Plan B?
What's that?
As I see it, Santa doesn't want to go because nobody cares, right?
Right.
He
Right.
thinks there's no Christmas spirit, no goodwill, right?
Right.
So all you have to do is go down there and find some example of Christmas spirit left over from last year. Scout up some goodwill and show him some proof that somebody cares, right?
Right.
Santa will change his mind and presto, Christmas is on again.
Yippee!
Yay!
Now, make sure you don't get lost.
Lost?
Vixen's made the trip, haven't you, dear? She'll take you. No problem. So you just hurry along and gather up enough proof to change Santa's mind, and we can get on with Christmas as usual.
And it's like, we did not sign up for this, ma'am. And she's like, well, just do it.
I wasn't sure I was doing the right thing, but faced with the idea of having no Christmas at all, drastic measures were called for.
Eh.
Well, what's all that racket out there, Ma?
Oh, it was just one of the reindeer getting himself some exercise in. What with all the rest and relaxation around here, everybody's jumpy as a leapfrog. It just isn't natural for this time of year.
They'll get used to it. I have already. I tell you, this is life.
If you say so, dear.
Are you thinking that I'm doing the wrong thing by staying home?
Of course not, dear, but if you should change your mind.
Okay, what are you up to, Ma?
Me? Up to something? Oh, ridiculous. Do I look like I'm up to something?
No, you don't look like you're up to something, but whenever you look like you're not up to anything, you're up to something. What are you up to, Ma?
Now, it's nothing that needs concerning.
Wow.
Poor Jingle. Poor Jangle.
Jingle, jangle. Concern it, Ma. What's going on?
They're only trying to help.
Where are they?
Well, they thought they'd just browse around the world and see if the folks didn't really care about you and Christmas.
You mean they went down there out into that cruel world by themselves?
Oh, of course not, silly. Vixen went with them.
Vix? She's just a baby.
Oh.
Oh, poor little girl. No telling what might happen. Now I'll have to go after him.
You think
Uh-oh.
you ought to, dear? You oh,
I have to go. Why, those three won't even get past the Miser Brothers without...
the Miser Brothers. Oh, dear. Oh, I forgot all about those two.
Of all the fool things for them to do, why, if Snow Miser doesn't freeze them, just for the fun of it, his devil of a brother will put the heat on them for sure.
Oh.
Dasher! On the double! Away, Dasher!
And there goes Santa.
Miser Brothers, what a pair. Snow Miser who controls the northern part of the world trying to turn everything to icicles, and his nasty brother trying to keep the south so hot with nary a snowflake a year.
Yep, pretty much.
And Jingle and Jangle were headed right between the two.
Where are we? Where are we heading? What do you think?
Uh-oh.
And the goody goodies. Oh, they must be on their way to start everybody dreaming of a white Christmas again.
Well, that's not completely untrue.
Of course, I never dreamed little Vixen would make the mistake of flying right smack into Heat Miser's territory.
Oh, that's not good.
They got away. They got
The baby Little Vixen pulled the boys out of a pretty tight spot. I wonder where we are now.
If you ask me, still in serious trouble.
Look down there. Southtown, USA. That looks like as good a place as any to find some Christmas spirit. Take her down, Vixen, old girl. Where is everybody?
Boy, that's what I'd like to know. How can we find any goodwill if we can't even find any people?
Uh-oh.
All right, buddy, pull over.
What's the problem, officer?
What's the problem? I'll tell you what the problem is. Riding what do you call that thing anyway?
That's Vixen.
Riding a vixen the wrong way on a one-way street, crossing the white line, and wearing funny-looking suits on a Sunday. Tell it to the judge.
Maybe they don't like reindeer in these parts. I know what. We'll make her a disguise. Take your socks off.
Take my socks off?
Just do as you're told.
Hmm.
And there we have Instant Rover. Now then, let's take our dog for a walk and see if we can find some Christmas spirit and goodwill.
Hmm.
You, madam. Yeah, what did you want? I wonder if we might speak with you for a moment. Do you believe in Santa Claus?
At my age, who are you?
My name is...
And what on earth is that?
That's our little puppy dog, Rover.
A dog?
Yep. Bark for the Lady Rover.
Uh-oh. Wow. Well, that went about as well as you'd expect.
Two little fellas wearing goofy clothes.
They didn't get into any trouble, did they, officer?
I'll say they got in trouble. Wait till the judge gets finished with them lawbreakers. He'll give them what for.
Not much Christmas spirit there, just as I feared. They're in trouble already.
Hmm.
Better find them quick, one of them guys. Must be scared to death.
Yeah, I'd say so.
You're right. Bark for the Lady Rover, indeed.
Why don't we just skip the whole business and go home?
I'd like to, but let Mrs. Sneed down. We've just got to find a trace of Christmas spirit and goodwill somewhere.
I know. Santa's favorites have always been the little ones, the children. Why don't we talk to one of them?
Good idea.
Yeah, that should have.
There's a bunch of children over there.
Well, let's talk to them and get out of here, because I think Vixen's coming down with something. She's got a spiked finger.
Yeah, it also should be duly noted that bit with the cat, the woman and her cat. Yeah, that's not in the televised version anymore, if it ever has been.
Poor thing. She's just not used to this weather. You just lay down here in the shade, girl. We'll be right back. I beg your pardon, young man. May we have a word with you?
Sure. Hey, you're dressed up like a couple of Christmas elves. Haven't you heard the news? Santa's taking a holiday.
Yeah, it was in all the papers.
Well, you don't seem to be very upset about it.
Upset? Why should I be upset?
Yeah, what's the big deal?
You mean you don't care if Santa Claus comes or not? None of you?
Hmm.
Of course not. It's none of our business. Besides, believing in Santa Claus is for little kids.
Yeah.
It's serious.
Boy, it's worse than I thought.
If I were you guys, I wouldn't waste my time worrying about Santa Claus. You got a bigger problem.
Huh? What do you mean?
That.
The dog got your food.
Oh, shoot!
A very nice boy, Ignatius Thistlewhite. Nice name, too.
Hmm.
He didn't know it at the time, but he was going to be a much bigger help to the two little elves and to all of us than he could ever imagine. Because a little later, when he got home,
Hi there, little fella.
Mr. Claus, I gotta ask, what the hell were you doing behind that tree? I'm just saying.
Can you spare a moment?
Sure. My name is Ignatius Thistlewhite. Everybody calls me Iggy. What's yours?
Mine, Claus.
What can I do for you, Mr. Claus?
Well, I'm looking for two friends of mine. Tiny little fellows. Red Shoe.
Oh, you must mean the two guys I met at school. They were asking us about Christmas and stuff. Ignatius, was that you I heard sneeze? Not me, Mom. It was my friend, Mr. Klaus. Well, why don't you bring him inside and talk? And I'll give him something for that cold. Mom, Dad, Mr. Klaus.
How do you do? Well,
oh, you poor man. Drink this, it'll make you feel much better.
Thank you. You say my friends were asking you about Christmas?
Yeah.
They wanted to know if we were kids scared
And what'd you tell him?
Heck, I don't believe in Santa Claus anymore. That's kid stuff, isn't it?
Just as I thought.
You don't believe in Santa Claus, do you, Dad?
Why, yes. Matter of fact, I do.
How about you?
Me?
Here is literally one of my all-time favorite songs from a Ramson Bass cartoon.
Of course I believe in Santa Claus like a I believe in Santa Claus and everything he does. There's no question in my mind that he exists just like love. I know he's there waiting for you. I believe in Santa Claus, but there was a time I thought I had run complete. In the church life was mine. He became a creepy thing till one Christmas someone took his final
Yep, one of my all-time favorite Christmas songs. Yep.
Well, I guess maybe.
By the way, when my friends left the schoolyard, did they say where they were going?
Oh my gosh, I almost forgot. They were chasing the dog catcher's truck.
They were what?
He was taking their dog away in his truck, and they were trying to catch him.
Their dog. Good grief.
Uh-oh.
Poor little Victor was so frightened and sick when the dog found him. It was one of those days when things just kept going from bad to worse.
Yep. She's not very happy. She is. Yep. She is under a lot of.
Santa wanted to get to see how
Yeah.
that dog found and quick. Ordinarily, Santa wouldn't like to show off his flying reindeer in front of people. But he was in a rush.
Yep.
Did you see that?
I certainly did.
I thought there was something different about that man. Mr. Claus. He must be.
Wouldn't surprise me a bit. At the moment, nothing would.
Then his friends must be real elves. And their dog. I'll bet that dog was a baby reindeer.
That's bad. They won't know how to take care of a reindeer at the dog pound.
Yeah.
I wish there was something I could do.
When you've got a big problem, son, it often by the mayor's telling the whole story. He should be able to help.
Hey, good idea, Dad.
But what's to say the mayor's gonna listen?
Well, it just so happened that Jingle and Jangle had the same good idea. When the man at the dog pound refused to let Vixen go, he suggested that they take their case to the mayor.
Now, let me see. Look, if I got this straight. You two are elves? And that dog down at the pound is a reindeer? And you want to take him back to Santa Claus at the North Pole?
You see, Your Honor, we're here on a special mission.
Secret mission.
A secret mission, I should have guessed.
Because Santa isn't coming this year. Yep. He wants to take a holiday.
Yep.
No more, please. I can't take any more. Reindeer, Santa Claus, elves.
But we are elves. We're serious. How can we convince you?
Oh, come on, son. What kind of fool do you think I am? You ain't got the chance of a snowball in Southtown of convincing me 1/10 of your stories on the level.
A snowball in Southtown? What kind of chance is that?
Not very good. It never snows here.
Well, not in the last 100 years. Hey, I've got an idea.
Okay.
You elves can work magic and all that. You conjure up a good
You're looking at wizards, not elves.
old-fashioned white Christmas for us right here in Southtown, and I'll buy every word you say.
You will?
I'll spring your reindeer from the hoosh cow. I'll call all the mayors in the U.S. of A. We'll give Santa an official national holiday this year.
It's a deal.
Goodbye, Your Honor. We've got lots to do.
Yeah. See you all on the ski slopes, Mr. Mayor.
Hmm. Is it just me or does this one character on the left with the suit and hat and tuxedo and with that mustache, is that a reference toward one Charlie Chaplin?
Now, take it easy, girl. I paid your fine. We'll be going home now. Real reindeer.
How do you like that? Aren't they supposed to be up north?
That's why she's so sick. She can't take this warm weather.
Yeah, God knows how many times I run into a number of reindeer myself. I even remember that the one reindeer near reindeer moment I remember was when I was trying to let one of my dogs out of the cage so they could go outside and do their business. Just as I was about to let uh, our Jack, or not, our Siberian Husky out, excuse me, I swear to God, a reindeer just happened to come right on the on the right side of the porch, and that was just as I was about to let her out. And I let her out, and I let her out just before I noticed it. Uh, so I had to try to tell her to stop before she went to chase after that deer. Yeah, yeah, I remember that.
I gotta get her home. I hope I'm not too late.
If anybody should come by asking about her,
Oh, two funny little characters. They were here about an hour ago, but they couldn't pay the fines. I told them to go see the mayor.
what am I gonna do about those two? Don't you worry, Vixen. I'm gonna take care of you first.
Yep. Gotta take her back home where she's safe and sound. Priorities are very well straight.
But he had an even more serious problem on his hands. If he didn't get Vixen back to the North Pole fast, well, who knows what might happen to the littlest reindeer of the team. Things looked pretty grim from where Jingle and Jangle and young Evie sat. As far as they knew, Vixen was still in the pound, and they were faced with the problem of making it snow in Southtown. Well, all seemed lost, but Jingle got a brilliant idea.
Mrs. Claus, if anybody can figure a way out of this mess, she can.
Yep.
How about calling Mrs. Santa Claus?
Good idea. Why didn't I think of that? She should be along any minute now.
I hope she doesn't wake my folks up.
Here she comes now.
Hey.
Come on, boys. Hello, Evie.
Say hello, Blitzen.
Golly.
Mrs. C, where are we going?
To see Snow Mile.
Yep. The one saying that you probably have known about if you've watched the 1997 movie of Fat Man and Robin is about to come up.
Here he comes now, the big man.
Well, Mrs. Claus, how's your hubby?
Well, I'm afraid he's got a pretty bad cold, Snowy.
Oh, that's a shame, the poor fellow. He should have come to see me. I'd have given him a good one.
Damn.
A little chilly humor there.
Don't you dare make fun of Santa Claus like
Oh.
that. He's the nicest person in the whole world.
Of course he is, Sonny. I love him a lot.
You do?
Well, of course I do, silly. Why, he's the best advertisement Snowbiz ever had. Now, what can I do for you, madam?
We need a snowstorm.
Well, sooner said than done, my little icicle. Where do you want it?
In a town called Southtown, USA.
Hold it.
Can't do, Mrs. C.
The South is under the control of my stepbrother, Heat Miser. And every time I try to send a little refreshing snow down there, what does he do? He turns it into rain, a fall. And who needs that?
Well, if I get it okay, will you make
Don't get your hopes up.
You'll never get anywhere with that one.
We'll have to try. Thanks, Snowy.
Don't mention it.
And don't be such a stranger. Look, stop by your hubby sometime and we'll have a blizzard.
Thank you. Oh, so like it hot, but I like it really hot. Sing it!
Well, if it isn't Mrs. Claus. Where's your husband? Out doing another commercial for my brother?
Oh, come now. You know Santa isn't on your brother's payroll.
Well, then he's grossly unfair, that's what. Traipsing around in that stupid sleigh of his, stirring up cold winter breezes and causing everybody to think fondly of snowball fights and sleigh rides and ice hockey.
I assure you it's not intentional.
Well, why does he wear a bathing suit and drive a sand buggy?
But we live at the North Pole.
So that whole bit where he's like talking about, so that whole bit right here.
The phrases of. Well, why does he wear a bathing suit and drive a sand buggy?
Yeah, that line, uh, that whole bit between what Miss Claus just said and what Mrs. Claus and Heat Miser just said, that bit is cut from the television version, and I don't even know why. Like, what, time constraints? I don't know. But this bit is in the televised version.
We live at the North
The bit that I'm about to play, I should mean.
And he can sing the praises of heat and rain.
I'll see what I can do. In the meantime, will you do us a favor?
I don't see why I should. Nobody ever does anything for me. What is it?
Could you let it snow just for one day in the South?
What? Snow in the South?
Just for one day.
Unless there were, something in it for me.
Like what?
Like, for instance, a little bit of northern territory were turned over to me. Shall we say, the North Pole?
Well, heavens, I don't know. That would be up to your brother, not me.
Well, why don't you give the Tutti Frutti snow cone a buzz on the hotline? See what he says.
Hello? Snowy, this is Mrs. Claus.
Hi there, Sugar Plum. How'd you make out with the hothead?
I heard that, you snowball.
Speak of the devil.
Madam, kindly state your business with that drippy snowman and get him out of here.
Mind your blood pressure, hotcakes. Mother warned you about that low boiling point of yours.
You think you're hot stuff just because Mother likes you best.
Don't cry.
I can't have a little fun. I'm going to leave.
Your brother agreed to let
It's a sibling rivalry. What did you expect to happen between these two? Come on.
snow in the South. Of course, there has to be a small concession on your part.
Oh, really? So what does the flaming fool want this time? The North Pole?
Yes, as a matter of fact.
I told you he wouldn't cooperate.
Cooperate. Surrender the North Pole. You will cooperate.
I would mind to chill your embers for you.
Oh, yeah?
All right, enough of this. I hate to do that to you boys. going over your head.
Oh.
I was, and I will.
Oh.
Mrs. Claus! See what you did, you old wizard. Should have told Mother. I did, you hot dog. It's your fault.
No, you both have something to blame with that.
Claus? I mean, we're not actually going to.
And Mother.
Hold
I
up.
did, you hot dog. It's your fault.
So, this bit, up until I stop it again, is going to be cut from the televised version.
We're not really going to do it, are we, Mrs. Claus? I mean, we're not actually going to disturb her.
Oh, she's not serious. I mean, we're not really. Are we actually going to see you?
Yes.
No.
Who? Are we going?
See, we're going right to the top, Iggy, my boy.
Mrs.
Yeah, I think that bit where Iggy starts talking, um, that is the part where it's the televised version.
He is too fool around. We're gonna see none other than Mother Nature.
I must
Oh.
admit I'm more than a little nervous myself. I never met Mother Nature, but I knew she didn't like to be disturbed.
Hmm. Oh boy.
As I said, I was pretty nervous myself. I had no idea what to expect of Mother Nature. But frightened as we were that determined that Santa should have his holiday.
Oh, so they gave you a hard time, did they, Mrs. Claus?
Oh, I'm sure they didn't mean to.
Oh, yes, they did. They nasty little boys, both of them.
Well, I wouldn't say.
Oh, I'll straighten them out for you. Oh, you children.
What is it, Mother dear?
Now, Mrs. Claus made a very simple request. Now, you let a little snow fall in Southland, and you allow just one nice spring day at the North Pole. All you have to do is compromise. At this time of the year especially, Santa needs some examples of the Christmas spirit, and we must set a good example for the people down there to follow. So, boys,
I won't do it. Neither.
Oh.
They're really nice boys, Mrs. Claus.
oh, sometimes they bicker, but you'll have no further trouble with them. I do hope Santa enjoys his holiday.
How can I ever thank you?
Oh, don't mention it.
Hmm. I was an understandably long time.
Well, little girl, I guess you're going to be all right after all. Hello, what's this? Dear Santa, I had to go meet Jingle and Jangle. We'll be back soon. Huh. That's a relief. I'll look after those two. She will.
Yeah.
Now I can stay home and look after my cold.
After the adventure he had, he deserves a nap. He really does.
Yes, dear, I'll be home early. Well, I should be leaving here in a few minutes. What's that? Don't forget to wear my what? Galoshes? What for? Oh, it's snowing in that case, I'll...
What?
Guess those fellas won't turn my leg above Santa Claus after all.
Nope.
Santa, wake up. Look at these headlines.
Yes.
Makes declare evil holiday protection. No more farmers buying sunflower.
I said this. Day off for Santa.
Day off Santa.
Well, Mama, I guess you proved your point. There is some goodwill in the hearts of all this time of year. This, especially this, fruit. The world gave
I
me.
wonder what it was saying in the Japanese newspaper. Eh.
Fast as a hurricane, children hurled the happy message around the world, over each continent, isle, and isthmus. Let's give Santa a Merry Christmas. The snow, the earth, was already whitening. They rolled up their
Hmm.
sleeves and worked like lightning. They opened their piggy banks and racked their brains. They chartered buses and special trains to reach the pole by the 24th was all their goal. East,
Hmm.
west, north, and south came gifts
Hmm.
and gifts and gifts to spare from clever children everywhere. Tots who hadn't a penny to spend wrote him letters signed a friend. And
Hmm.
they had more fun that strange December, they said, than any they could remember.
Hmm.
What's this? Why, it's a letter for me. Dear Santa.
So you probably have heard Blue Christmas before. Primarily, probably from Elvis Presley's version.
Yeah, children. Johnny was silent for a minute. His eyes looked bright, but a tear stood in it. And then he blew his nose like a trumpet blast.
Hmm.
God bless my soul.
He said at last.
By the big borealis. By my maps and charts. I didn't know children had such kind hearts. How could a man feel glad or proud?
Then he turned away and blew his nose louder.
Hmm.
Isn't it wonderful, dear? When we told all the children you needed a holiday, they all agreed. So this year, they brought Christmas to you.
Hmm.
Holiday? Nonsense! Well,
Wow.
why is everybody standing around? There's work to be done. Load up the sleigh. Harness the team. Fetch my coat.
But what about your gout?
And the crick in your spine.
And your aches?
Hmm.
My back feels fine. Never felt younger.
Hmm.
Never felt stronger. Haven't felt the stiffness any longer. Now I'll
And then they with Santa Claus' name in Southtown, USA. So I would say this is about when this the show is about to end anyway. So Santa Claus, The Year Without a Santa Claus, another classic in the rampant past collection of Christmas movies. Yes, very much so. They, it's still got a little bit left. Hold on.
And that's one reason you may believe why children
I
out
thought it
there
was gonna end there because I don't think we ever seen this bit.
as you hang your stockings, it doesn't matter if the winds are knocking. Though the
Oh,
great
he got a
angel,
pike!
though nobody else
Yo!
would be outdoors, snug in your bed while the tempest drums, you can count your blessings on fingers and thumbs. For years
That's something for mom and dad, did he?
safely, truly, somehow Santa Claus always.
It's the reindeer hits that summer. I'm getting up. Get those gifts loaded up on the sleigh.
Hmm.
I dreamed unhappy things.
Alright, so that was The Year Without a Santa Claus, like I said. I will say this was honestly I think this is better than I think this was a lot better than the Santa Claus is Coming to Town because there wasn't really very many things wrong with this cartoon. Compared to Santa Claus Coming to Town with a few little gripes that I had with it. But with that said, I did very much enjoy this cartoon. It's one of my favorite ones of all time when it comes to the random fast cartoons. So yeah, um, so yeah, would I recommend this to anybody that likes Christmas cartoons? Yes, very much. If you're the type that want to have a Christmas movie to watch, yes, this would definitely be one for sure. Um, yeah, definitely better than Santa Claus is Coming to Town, if I'm being honest. Oh, excuse me. So yeah, that was, like I said, The Year Without a Santa Claus. Uh, I don't know what movies I'll be watching tomorrow night. I'll probably do, if it snows tomorrow, I may do the Frosty the Snowman cartoons. If not, I'll have to think about it. In any case, thank you guys so much for watching. Let's watch along with me with these two movies. Hope you guys enjoyed. And until next time, ladies and gentlemen, this is Forrest Walpole signing off.